often results in, you know, kind of an open schedule. And we're going to talk about schedule next week and the importance of having a schedule where you do the same thing every day.
Oh, it's ready.
All right, cool. Oh Lord, I'm gonna trip on this. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. A lot of people here want to make $100,000 a year. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse engineer that into what it's gonna take for you to achieve that number. Now I'm operating off of a net number, okay? So the difference between $100,000 gross commission and $100,000 net commission is, you know, the difference between about making $60,000 to $70,000 net and making $100-something thousand net. So for the purpose of what you've told me, which is that you want to make $100,000 or more per year, I'm working off of a net number because I want that money in your pocket. Okay. Now we're going to create something here, and I've been talking to Susan about it, and I don't know how we're going to roll it out particularly yet. It'll probably be within the next month. But it's going to be called the 100K Club. Okay? And that's going to be for people who are on that path and who are surpassing that number. Now, how do you get into the 100K Club? Well, you're on the path to make 100K, or you already have. Point being, I want to explain to you this morning what that looks like, okay? And then you can decide how much you want to work or what it is you're going to do to get there. I can give you a structure to follow, and we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about schedule and those types of things, but ultimately you have to understand what's behind the structure and what's behind the schedule. Why am I asking you to prospect? Why am I asking you to make contacts, okay? The reason is because what we're going for is we're trying to collect data so that we can put together an equation on you, on your production, okay? Now, for me, I know because I track all my numbers, it takes me 83.4 contacts to sell a listing, okay? Now, how do I do that? I look, how many listings did I sell? How many contacts did I make? Pretty simple, right? If I sell 20 listings and I made 100 contacts, it takes me 5 contacts to sell a listing. Does that make sense? Now, not all of your sales are going to come as a result of your contacts, but we're going to use it that way so that we are, you know, ultimately motivated to prospect and to develop that business. Some of your business is going to come from referrals. Some of your business is going to come from people you already know, you know, but just remember that anytime you're talking to someone about business, whether it's someone that you know or not, what are you doing? You're digging for gold. What is that called? Prospecting, right? So prospecting doesn't necessarily have to be calling for sale by owners, calling expireds, calling withdrawals, calling just listed, just sold, which we're also going to dig into a little bit today of how to do that. It can also be calling people that you know. There's a software that I don't know if you guys are aware of, but it's an application that we can download onto your phone, which creates an Excel spreadsheet out of your phone database. Y'all know about that? All right, so we'll get into that. Point being, what's that?
I think I've got it.
Okay,
What's the name of that?
I'll get it to you.
Okay, SA
I'm just-
contacts.
That might be it. I just wanted to say that. We'll get to that on another time. That's not the point of what we're doing here. But my point is that it could be calling the people in your phone. It could be. Look, guys. You know, one of the best prospects, a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
A business owner is an incredible prospect. Think about it. Okay, They own a freaking business. They're an entrepreneur. Do you think they probably own a house? Right? They probably do. Or maybe they're renting a house because they're putting all their money into their business, and one day when their business gets profitable, they're going to want to buy their dream home or something like that, right? Point being, business owners are incredible prospects. Now, you guys use businesses. You use an accounting firm, you use a dry cleaner, you buy your clothes somewhere, you buy your shoes somewhere, you buy your gas somewhere. Okay, you get your car worked on somewhere, you go to the doctor somewhere, you have an attorney, you have an accountant. I already said accountant, didn't I? Anyways, my point being, as you move throughout your life, recognize that you are working with other business owners. You are a customer of multiple businesses. Now, we discussed, I don't think I discussed it with you all yesterday, but I did discuss it with someone yesterday, the calculation on a rental payment, okay, as it relates to a mortgage payment. How do we do that calculation? It's approximately, and I say approximately because I'm not talking HOAs, I'm not talking super high property taxes, I'm not talking a lot of other things, but approximately as far as the mortgage is concerned, okay, does that make sense? $500 per month per $100,000 that is financed. $500 per month is how much it costs based on the current interest rates to finance $100,000. So if you've got somebody that's renting and paying $1,000 a month, theoretically, based on that payment, now I'm not talking about their credit and their debt to income ratio and everything that they need to qualify for a loan. Based solely on the amount of money that they are putting out to live where they live, $1,000 a month qualifies you for a $100,000 mortgage. $200,000 or $2,000 a month. Somebody paying $2,000 a month in rent, they can afford a $400,000 home. Somebody paying $3,000 a month in rent, they can afford a $600,000 home. Now, the lender's going to tell you whether or not they qualify for a mortgage, okay? But as far as, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people have no idea. They're paying $1,200 a month in rent. They have no idea they could buy a $200,000 house. Now, some people might not be ready for that. They might not be prepared financially. That's okay. If they have a goal, bless you, if they have a goal of home ownership, right, it takes time to qualify. You can put them with the lender. The lender can put them on a path. They probably got 6 or 8 months left on their lease anyways, okay? So no matter who you're talking to, if you talk to somebody, oh, I don't own a house, I'm renting. Great, how much is your rent? It's $1,500 a month. Are you aware that $1,500 a month will qualify you for $300,000 home or condo or townhome?
Don't remind me.
Exactly. Don't remind me, right? Because I'm throwing
Buy
money
next
down the
year.
drain. Yeah, exactly. But doesn't that kind of change the conversation?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't that kind of change the conversation a little bit? Aren't you providing value when you bring somebody a calculation like that? See, what we want to do is provide value to everybody that we talk to. So prospecting doesn't have to be calling FSBOs, guys. That's part of it, okay? But you have to do it all. You can't just be a FSBO master or an expired master. I mean, you can if you want to. That's fine, but you're going to freaking hate your life, okay? Because you're just going to be dealing with really upset people, right? And that's okay. It's part of the deal. You have to deal with upset people. You got to, look, the reason they're upset is because they have a problem that they're trying to solve, and they can't solve it. Somebody that's expired, they got a problem. Not only do they have to sell their house, but the realtor they hired to sell their house didn't get the job done, and now they're getting hit up with a bunch of realtors that sound exactly like the same thing. They're saying the same thing, not only as all the other people that are calling them, but they're saying the same thing that the guy that they hired said, too. So we have to learn how to separate ourselves from the herd. And the way we do that is by providing value. Okay, so who's got any questions about what I just said?
Can I just take a picture of the board?
Yeah, and I'll get into explaining this here in a minute.
I need to be glad I got a car. Can you just do that?
So,
This is Lois.
my point in saying all that is the reason I'm asking you to prospect, and I'm going to do this, okay? That's 5 contacts. while you are calling, while you are making your calls, while you're going about your day, you need to have somewhere, it could be your notepad, put a date at the top of it, it could be your folder, it could be on your phone, you have the notes thing, and you could just do little X's. Everyone you talk to about real estate, I want you to take and make a line or an X, whatever it is that you want to do, right? I use this, right? So by the end of the day, $20 contacts, okay? I don't care if it's a business owner. I don't care if it's a Starbucks barista. I don't care if it's the guy that owns your dry cleaner. I don't care if it's the waiter who's waiting your table at the restaurant. It's still a contact. And guess what all them are doing? Guess what all the waiters and waitresses and everybody else is doing? They're renting, guys. They're probably renting a place. A lot of these people have no idea that they qualify to own property. Now, what's the next step? You buy one. Okay, if you buy a house and you turn it into a rental property, it becomes an asset. When you live in it, it's a liability. When it becomes a rental property, it becomes an asset. Okay, so do you have to sell to buy something else? No, you don't. You just need a little bit of space in between the time you have to move. You need somebody to stay with so that you can get the place leased. Then it becomes an asset. Now you have profit. Now it qualifies you to buy a better house. Okay, the bank looks at that as an asset. They go, wow, not only are they a hairstylist or a barista or whatever, they also own a property. Okay, these people can go like this every 3 to 5 years purchasing a new home. In 20 years, they own 4 to 5 properties that are cash flowing. They've got a huge net sheet. They've got a great balance sheet. They're showing profits and loss. Now 20 years as a server maybe doesn't look so bad because at the end of it, maybe you can retire because you can turn and sell those homes or you can live off of the revenue that they generate, right? So you can lay out plans like this for people and you can help people execute on these types of plans. That's providing value, guys, right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So, back on the contacts, we're talking new contacts every day, not
That's right.
follow-ups or, just want to clarify.
That's correct. Now, as far as that is concerned, okay, if you guys want to count your follow-ups as contacts, I'm okay with that for right now, okay? Because what I want you to do is I want you to get into a habit of recording your contacts, recording your conversations. I want you to get into the habit of that. I'm not going to be so strict at this point in time on what a contact is, right? We can say, oh no, a follow-up call is not a contact. I want you to feel good about making your follow-up calls. I want you to be excited about it. I want you to be excited about making as many contacts as you can, and I'm getting ready to explain that here shortly. I'll wait till Trista comes back because I do want her to hear this as well.
She's got it recorded.
Oh, yeah, she's got it recorded. That's right. Never mind. All right.
She's going to get her glasses.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. So here's the deal. It takes me 83 contacts to sell a listing, right? I've got a little bit more experience at doing this than a lot of you guys do. Maybe it will take you 83 contacts to sell a listing. That is my number over 8 years. 8 years of selling real estate, okay? Every year out of those 8 years, I've produced more than 10 million, okay? It's gone up to 20 million. It's gone down to 10 million. But every year I've produced, okay? And I've done that while training other agents. And I'll do it here. You'll watch me do it, okay? You'll see me do it here. I'll be doing it with you guys, right? So, you want to make $100,000. All right. $270,000 is the average home price in Atlanta, okay? $270,000 times 20. What's that?
Metro?
All of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yep, all of Atlanta. $270,000 times 20 homes equals 5.4 million in volume. Okay, you're most likely going to make 3% on your volume, average. right? That's going to be your average GCI. That equals $162,000 GCI. You're going to pay 18 grand to Keller Williams for the cap. That puts you at $144,000 before you pay your taxes. If you have a good accountant, CPA, thank you, you're going to pay 25% tax off the top, right? You're going to have some write-offs and things like that. So let's say you pay 25% in taxes. That brings you to $108,000 net, okay? 162, so that's 108 grand net. So that's how you make 100 G's. That's how you net 100 G's, okay? Now, we take the $162,000 number, which is the total GCI. Do y'all have any questions about what GCI is? Okay.
It's gross commission income?
That's right, gross commission income. And you're going to divide that by 365 days because that's how much time we have in a year. This is an annual number, right? We're talking annual right now. Agreed? 162,000 divided by 362 days is $443.83 a day. If you want to make 108 grand, you have to earn $443 a day, every day, 365 days a year. Okay? You have to look at it this way, guys. You have to look at it this way. If you don't, you will lose. If you are not doing this every day, you will lose. The other side of it is, if you will do this every day, you'll probably make more than that. But maybe not. Maybe you just make that much, right? Point is, if you do it every day, you will make that much. So everybody gets into the business. They want to make 100 grand. That's how you make 100 grand. You make 100 grand by earning $443.83 a day, paying your $18,000 cap, paying 25% commission. Boom, you're at 108,000 net. You have a question, or you're just doing the numbers?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, we did the little dot in the middle of the board thing. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Okay? I'm here to give you these metrics. I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm here to answer any questions that you have when you're out there in the battle zone, doing deals, having issues, having problems. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you get this. But you've got to understand where you are within this, because what I'm asking you to do here is not a small thing. I'm asking you to earn $443 a day. You can only do that by adding value. So I'm asking you to go out and add value every single day. How are we going to do that? We only do that by talking to people. It's the only way we can add value. If we don't have anybody to talk to, we can't add value to anybody. So how do we talk to people? How many people do we have to talk to? Look, I don't mean any offense, okay? And most of you guys might be less than this, but I'm saying, all right, let's just say it takes you 250 contacts. So I took my number and multiplied it by 3. I don't know if that's offensive or generous. I don't know what it is, okay? I don't know what your numbers are, but we're going to find out what your numbers are because we're going to track your numbers and we're going to do the calculations and we're going to figure out what your particular number is, and everybody's going to have a different number. For the sake of the conversation today, let's just say the number's 250 contacts for you to get a listing sold. I'm not talking about a listing appointment. I'm not talking about a listing taken. I'm talking about the thing is you took the listing, you took the appointment, you took the listing, you put it on the market, you sold the listing, you got paid, okay? 250 contacts, listing equals 1 listing sold. If that's true, okay, just follow me. If that's true, 1 listing sold based on these numbers equals $8,100 GCI, okay? That means that if you divide that number, 8,100, by how many contacts it takes you to get a listing sold, 250 contacts, while you are prospecting, you're making $32.40 per contact. I hope that can help you be motivated to pick up the phone and talk to these angry people. Because if they tell you to screw off, you should say thank you for the $32 and hang up the phone. Okay?
Who else do you know that I can call so
Yeah.
I can get the
That's exactly right. I'm looking for the next $32, man. Get out of my way, okay? Because I got to hit 250 to get a listing sold, okay?
And
Third-
So when you say even the listing sold, it's, going through the appointment, getting turned down, or la 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 la.
We're talking all of that.
Yeah.
We're wrapping it all into one big calculation. Now, we're going to get granular on this. We're going to know what it takes for you to get a listing appointment, what it takes for you to get a listing taken, and then eventually what it takes to get a listing sold. But from a top level income producing, what I'm looking at for you guys to help you make money, because to me, none of this means anything if we can't make money. Okay? It doesn't mean all this time, all this talk, all this rah-rah crap, whatever it is, it means nothing if we can't do this. We've got to be able to convert contacts into money. And this is how we do it on a top producer scale, okay? This is what top producers look at. Top producers look at how many contacts does it take for me to get a listing sold? Can you make 250 contacts in a day? Because if your number is 250, and I'm telling you, it will calculate out. It will calculate out. And the answer is no, you can't make 250 contacts in a day because it takes an hour on average to make 10 contacts. And that would require 25 hours of prospecting. Okay? So thanks for the 3240 when you get hung up on, right? Thank you very much. Right? 10 contacts an hour equals 25 hours. $324 an hour while you're a prospect. You're making $324 an hour. Remember that. Put yourself in a position of power. Put yourself in a position, I'm going to die on this thing. Put yourself in a position to earn. Remember, who makes $324 an hour? Doing any damn thing. Lawyers, doctors, football players, right? We're talking freaking football contract money here, guys.
Depending on how many chemicals and haircuts and stuff, you could do that too.
You could do that too. Yeah, you can. My wife's a hairstylist.
Yeah,
It's true.
because I'm
I'm
a
a
licensed cosmetologist too.
Oh.
I don't do hair.
Come
'cause I
on
don't feel
now.
like
What
it.
color, man?
Yeah, color.
Now check this out. $324 an hour times 25 hours happens to be $8,100, guys. $8,100, right?
It's at the top, under the red line, to the right.
What am I looking for?
I thought you were looking for the listing sold equals.
Oh yeah, $8,100 times 20 listings equals $162,000. So let's do that real quick. 8,100 times 20. Who's got a calculator?
What was the 25 again?
Hours.
Oh,
It's 162.
162.
Right here. 162.
And then,
You see where I'm coming from here, guys?
okay, so it's the 81 times 20 because we sold 20 homes. Is that what that
Yeah.
is?
You're gonna have to sell 20 houses to net 108 grand
Okay.
at that price.
Right.
at the 270 price point.
Okay.
Hey, if you got an average of a $600,000 price point, you only want to make 100 grand. You only got to sell 10 houses. That means you only got to do so much. And that's what I meant when I told you I don't really care if your goal is to make 80 grand or 100 grand or $1 million. It doesn't really matter to me because I can back it into a calculation and I know how many hours you're going to have to make, how many calls you're going to have to make, how many contacts to get a listing sold so that you can do that production. So let's talk about the 25-hour piece. If it takes you 25 hours to sell a listing, how quickly do you want to get through the 25 hours?
Fast.
Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to do 1 hour a day for 25 days? We're going to do 2 hours a day for 12 days, 13 days. We're going to do 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day for 5 days. I'm talking about for the rest of your freaking life, guys. I'm talking about for as long as you want to be in this business. Okay, this is what I do. This is what everybody who is producing at a high level does. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There's some guys out there that come from a lot of money. They're members of every country club, okay? And people just say, hey, dude, list my house. Guess what happens when they get that call? That's a contact, okay? So the Michael Jordans of our industry, right? It takes them 10 contacts to get a listing sold. You see what I'm saying? As you get better, as your skill level increases, this number will go down. I'm at about 83. Okay?
Here's what's opening up for me. I'm on the phone a lot.
Yes.
It does take me like $250 to get the listing sold.
Okay.
But here's what's great. Where I'm thinking I get a lot more done by phone.
Right.
Reality is I don't. I don't produce enough effective results.
Right.
Because I'm not out handshaking.
That's right.
Because it's whatever, hot, I don't want to, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of reasons.
A lot. But it's like, that just like,
But if you
really
know that every
shifted
time you
for me.
shake somebody's hand,
Yep.
you make $32. Now, we might look at the difference between calling and person to person. Your contact to listing sold number may go way down.
Yeah.
If you just go door knock, okay, or introduce yourself to people in the mall or something like that. Hey, then maybe it only takes 50 contacts to get a listing sold. At the same time, it takes a lot longer to meet people in person and shake their hand and talk to them than on the phone. The phone is still the most powerful sales tool because of the amount of ground you can cover, the amount of contacts you can collect, the amount of people that you can talk to. Now, as far as the effectiveness is concerned, different people are different, right? The country club guy that goes and hangs out at the country club every day for lunch, you know, he might only have to do 5 or 10 contacts to get a listing sold. But it depends on you and how you decide to run your business. What we're talking about right now is just in general, okay? On the phone, however, we know that it takes about an hour to get 10 contacts
10
on the phone.
Conversations.
That's right. Or contact. A contact could be, hey, how's it going? I'm calling about your expired listing. They say, yeah, this is the right person. We decided we're not moving. Thank you for your call. Bye.
Yeah, but it's not leaving a message.
It's not leaving a message.
Interaction.
That's right. It's not leaving a message. Now, again, if you guys want to count your contacts as leaving a message, the only thing is this. It has to be the right person. How do you know it's the right person? If you're leaving a message, because there's a lot of wrong numbers out there. It could be a tenant that was there from 4 years ago.
Right.
How do you know you're leaving a message for the right person, right? We do count a contact if it's your COI and you're leaving a message. Why? Because we know it's the right person.
Yeah.
We know that they know you.
Yeah.
We know that they're going to listen to your message. We know they're going to get the message that you are sending out there. So we're going to call that a contact. It's hard to determine that with expired listings and for sale by owners. If you see a thing and it says John Smith and the voicemail says, hi, this is John Smith. Okay, fine. Call it a contact.
What's the COI?
Center of influence, sphere. A lot of people say sphere of influence, center of influence. It's your it's your personal database. I should say your personal database. Okay, you can leave messages for your personal database, people that you know, people that know you, and you can count that as a contact. I'm completely fine with that. Okay, so does this make sense?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the 25 hours. Because that is the most important part, is the time you put in. You can understand this equation, and that's fine. But if you're not putting in the time, then guess what's happening? Guess what's not getting better?
Skills.
Your skill. Skills, whatever. Your skills are not getting any better if you are not putting in the 25 hours, guys. If you're not putting in the time, if you're not making the 250 contacts, number one, we can't measure what you're doing. Number two, your skill level is getting no better. And it's your responsibility to improve your own skills. It's my responsibility to give you the information that you need to go out there and improve your skills. But I cannot make the calls for you. I cannot knock the doors for you. I cannot shake the hands for you. You understand what I'm saying? Devin had a question because she's working as FSBO. She called me yesterday. We ran through some scenarios. She said, thank you very much. This is great. This is exactly what I needed. I'm going back to him. I'm aggressive, guys. Okay, I will teach you how to be aggressive with these people. Okay, and just because you're aggressive doesn't mean you have to be loud and boisterous and all up in people's face. Okay, it just means that the words that you say are leading to either a yes or a no in the shortest period of time possible. I don't want maybes. Maybe doesn't work for me. Call me back in a month. Okay, fine, I'll call you back in a month. I might throw them away. I can't hold on to leads, guys. You can't be holding on to leads acting like there's any value there, okay? They're not going to hatch new leads, right? They're not like chicken eggs, right? Where, you sit on them and you nurture them and then, oh, look, there's a new lead. No, okay? The new leads have no value. How do we define a lead? I don't know how you define a lead. I'll tell you how I define a lead. Someone who's going to be ready to sign a contract within the next 7 days. Otherwise, I'm giving them to somebody else and throwing them in the trash. Actually, I might be filtering leads to you guys here pretty soon. I'm getting my office moved over here this weekend, and I will be prospecting 2 hours a day. That's what I do. I prospect 2 hours a day. You understand what I'm saying? It takes me 80 contacts to get a listing. It takes me an hour to get 10 contacts. How many hours do I have to prospect to sell a listing? 8 hours. I got to prospect 8 hours to sell a listing, right? If I do it 2 hours a day, I can get it done in 4 days. So I can prospect Monday to Thursday, and I don't have to prospect throughout the weekend. I'm not going to prospect throughout the weekend because guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be showing property, taking listings, and holding open houses, okay? And I'm counting those contacts too, right? But I'm not on the phone. But if I hold an open house, somebody walks in the door. Another person walks in the door, right? I'm marking all the contacts, and at the end of the day, I'm going to log them. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this, guys, and it doesn't have to be complicated, okay? You can pull up your calendar for your phone for that day and write 21 contacts. And then tomorrow, 22 contacts. Next day, 18 contacts, right? And if you will do that, then we can add them up at the end of the week. What I'm working on right now with Keller Williams and with Command, actually, is a numbers analyzer. So I'm adding a numbers analyzer. I'm working with Hutch to see if we can work with Austin, okay, to get Austin to add a numbers analyzer to Command, because I want you guys to be able to go into Command and put it in every day, right? And we're going to start designing that numbers analyzer, and it's going to be able to do all these calculations very quickly. I don't know what Keller Williams has now. I know that there is software for you guys to use and for me to use, and so I'm just getting up to speed on all that stuff. But my point is, this is so important, guys. This is everything. We're going to drill this, and we're going to teach this over and over and over and over again, because hearing it once is not enough. You have to feel this every single day. Every day, if you're not putting out $443 worth of value, you're going to lose, okay?
And
you're
then-
going to lose.
Yeah, and then also put your own reality in. If you're not going to do 365, calculate whatever it is, but take off 3 weeks
Sure.
and the number. So even just call it 500 a day as an average for
Okay.
reality.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, absolutely, because you're not going to work every single day. But if you were going to work every day, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
If you want to take, I think most people, work about 250 days a year. Okay? So we could calculate it on a 250-day year. What is 162,000 divided by 250? Anybody?
What'd you say? What? It's what?
162,000
Yeah.
divided by 250.
Yeah, about 30%.
648.
648? No problem. $648 a day. At $32 a contact, what's 648 divided by 32?
Divided by 32, 20, 25.
Okay, so there you go. 25 contacts a day. Pretty simple. 25 contacts a day is how you earn $648 in value that you are putting into the marketplace. Guys, look, I don't know how it works, okay? But it works. If you put the value in, it's going to come back out. I don't know why. And it may not even come from where you're putting it in. You might be putting in 25 contacts a day, okay? And then you're going to meet somebody at the grocery store who says, oh, you're with Keller Williams. I want to buy a house. And you're like, where the hell did that come from? Okay? And it came from here. It came from the value that you're putting into the marketplace. I can't explain that. I don't have a calculation or a metric for that. It's called God. It's called faith. It's called karma. It's called freaking the universe, the secret, the power of intention. I don't know what the hell it is, okay? But it freaking works, okay?
All the above.
It works.
Yeah.
So if you want this, all you have to do is this, guys, on a daily basis. Now, if you want to work Monday to Friday, fine, work Monday to Friday. Make sure that the number of contacts that you're making, the days that you decide to work, equal the value that you are putting into the marketplace so that you can receive back the income that is your goal to reach. Right? This number could be 105 million. It doesn't matter what the number is. We can reverse calculate it based on how many contacts it takes for you to get a deal sold. It could be a listing. It could be a buyer sold. Right? We're just talking about listings right now. But is this starting to make sense to you guys?
Yeah. One other question on this. So contact, just being in business a long time,
Yeah.
other businesses, I have to get their contact information. That's how for me
Okay.
to count it.
You don't need to do that.
That was my question.
You don't need to do that. Because the way we're counting contacts
Yeah.
is you're talking to a person who may or may not be interested in what you have to offer about your business. And you are asking them if they want to do business with you or if they know anybody that may want to do business with you. As long as those things are in place, it's a contact. Now, if we do it the way that you're talking about doing it, this number is going to go actually way down because you're actually going to sell more to those people, but you're going to get worn out because
I get that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're going to say, how many do I have to make on a daily basis? I don't know. It depends on how many people are willing to give me their contact information. How do we average that? I don't really know, but it would be for the point of what we're talking about, and just follow along with me here. I appreciate where you're coming from because I believe that is a good metric. But because we have to run through so many,
Yes, it's
to,
hard.
we have to just be able to track it on a very rudimentary, basic thing, right? Hey, how's it going? I'm Ben Heidenreich,
Nice to meet you.
Keller Williams Buckhead.
Yes.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. Where do you live?
I'm a Decatur.
In Decatur? Nice. Are you renting or do you own?
I'm renting.
Renting. Fantastic. Would you like to own a home someday?
Definitely.
Really? If you did buy a home, when do you think you'd be looking to do that?
Probably in the next 6 months or so.
In the next 6 months. Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to a lender yet? Do you know if you're qualified to make a purchase?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, let me do a quick calculation for you. This maybe could help you. How much are you paying in rent?
$1,600.
$1,600, really? Are you aware that based on today's mortgage rates, okay, and I'm not including HOA fees and other things, but just based on the mortgage rates, you could afford to purchase a $300,000 home?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you be interested in maybe talking with the lender about it? I'll tell you, sometimes it takes 6 months to get qualified.
Okay. Sure.
Good. Listen, I'm going to give you my business card. Do you mind if I get your contact information?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm going to take down your contact information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a group text with my lender. Okay? Her name is Susan.
Okay.
And it's just going to say that you and I just kind of met and that you're renting a place right now and that you might be interested in purchasing a home in the next 6 months if you could qualify. Is that okay?
Okay, that's perfect.
Cool. And Susan's great. She'll be right on it. She'll text you or call you, whatever you want. And, maybe we can work together.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Awesome. Well, it was great to meet you.
Thank you.
That's a contact. Okay? Or tell me no. Tell me you're not interested. Hey, how's it going? I'm Ben Heidenreich.
Pretty good. How are you?
Good to meet you. I'm with Keller Williams in Buckhead.
Okay.
Where do you work?
I work in a hair salon.
Oh, cool. Do you live around here?
I do.
Nice. Would you be interested in possibly buying or selling a home in the near future?
Probably not. Probably
No?
the next 5 years or so.
The next 5 years, really? Okay, good. We can work with that too.
Okay.
No matter what the conversation is, guys, it's a contact. That's my point. She could tell me, hey, look, I'm not interested, leave me alone. Doesn't matter, still a contact. I introduce myself in the point of business. Now, what am I going to do? If she tells me 5 years, I'm tracking 5 years, right? I'm on it, okay? Because guess what? The time is going to pass, guys. And God willing, you'll still be here and so will they, okay?
And circumstances change.
In that situation, though, is it okay to ask even more questions? Like, why are you thinking 5 years? Like, what's holding you back? Or you just kind of stop because they said no?
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think, look, you have to be curious.
I ask a lot of questions.
The name of the game is curiosity.
That's a good thing.
The name of the game is curiosity. Likewise, you can ask a lot of questions if you want to, but just make sure that they are what type of questions.
Yeah.
Open-ended.
Open-ended questions that don't result in a yes or no. Why? Because when you're asking yes or no questions, the interest is pointing toward you. If you ask who, what, when, where, why, how, I think I covered them all there. Questions, the interest is pointing to them. Okay? Make sure you're asking questions that point the interest in their direction and not your direction. If you said, tell me 5 years, I'm just accepting that at face value. Oh, 5 years, fantastic. What's going to happen over the next 5 years?
What do you mean?
What's going to happen over the next 5 years? Why are you going to wait 5 years to buy a home? Just curious.
Just because I don't think I'm ready to
Yeah, that
break
makes
it down.
sense. That makes sense. So, are you currently paying rent somewhere?
I am.
I'm just going to do a quick calculation that'll help you out. How much are you paying in rent? How?
1,000.
$1,000. Okay, $1,000 a month in rent. Are you aware that it's about $500 per month per 100,000 that you finance? With $1,000 a month in rent, you could potentially buy a $200,000 home. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I'm asking a yes or no question because I know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know that she didn't know that. If she did know that, I'm going to be surprised. Oh wow, you knew that? Fantastic. What are you
Why are
waiting
you
for?
written? Exactly.
What are you waiting for? That's a what question.
What are you
I want to
waiting
buy a
for?
$300,000 house, not a $200,000.
Okay, great. You want to buy a $300,000 house,
Yeah.
and and so that's what you mean. You're gonna are you planning? Do you have a savings plan? Do you have
I
a financial
savings
plan?
So I figured, yeah, it'll take another 18 months. to
That's
have it ready.
fantastic. 18 months.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How can I help you to purchase a home in the next 18 months?
I don't even know what the steps are. All I know is that I got to get the money in the bank.
Okay, got it. And do you have a lender? Yes or no?
Oh no.
No. See, I'm counting on the no, right? If it's a yes, she has a lender. What am I going to now? Great. Who's your lender? Great. Who's your lender? Right? Whatever. So we're going to keep the conversation going by asking a series of yes or no and who, what, when, where, why questions. But the point is, if we want to keep them on the hook, we have to point the interest in their direction, okay? Not our own. If I say, well, why the hell, 5 years, geez, that's a long time for me. I can't wait that long for you to buy a house.
Crazy. So
I mean, what are we talking about here, guys? Are we talking about you getting paid or them buying a house? Because the only way you're going to get paid is if you help them buy a house. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's 5 years, it's 5 years. Try to understand a little bit more about why it's 5 years. They might not want to tell you. Fine. It's still a freaking contact. Thank you for the $32. You're not going to get somewhere with everyone, okay?
Somebody's going to say that. They're going to be like, oh, what?
Don't worry about it.
Everyone, okay, bye. Right.
You can say it to them. Say it to them. It might make them laugh. Hey, thanks for the $32. What do you mean? Well, I know that it takes me 250 contacts to make $8,100. And you have just become one of those 250 contacts. $8,100 divided by 250 contacts is $32.40, sir. And even though you don't want to work with me, I just earned $32, so I just want to thank you for that. They're going to go, hold the fuck up, get your ass over here, and list my house. Okay?
They really will.
Get over here and list my damn house. What are you talking about right now? Okay?
And who else do you know?
Yeah, who the hell do you know? I mean, what is going on over here?
Get your neighbors lined up.
This person is on freaking fire right now. You know? I mean, look, if somebody tells me that and I'm a pissed off expired, I'm going to be like, come on over.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? I mean, think about it. If you're a pissed off FSBO and somebody rolls something out like that to you, you're going to be like, doggone, this person is freaking getting some.
And if they don't say it right then, I guarantee you're gonna hang up.
They're going to think about it and be like, wait a minute.
They might even call you.
Exactly.
Call back when
Exactly.
you have a question.
Yeah, and you know, look, I mean, you know, obviously we're not trying to be out here and be arrogant with people or we're not trying to be smarty pants or, you know, like, hey, screw you, I still just got $32, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, but you have to have that mindset when you're facing this mountain of contacts. Okay? This is a mountain, guys. That is 25 hours of rejection. That is, do not take that lightly. Let me put it to you this way. Nobody likes being told no. Nobody likes being told, don't ever call me again. Nobody likes being told, you guys are horrible. I'm so tired of hearing these calls. I've received 30 calls today. Well, guess what you say? Sir, just think about it. There's 80,000 realtors in Georgia. Only 30 of us are doing our freaking job.
I'm gonna use that.
You might want to listen to one of us. Okay? Because out of all the realtors in all the land, you only got a couple dozen who are out here trying to get it. And I tell you what, some days more people are calling than others. How many people call on the first?
Tons.
Everybody calls on the first. What do you think that does to the seller?
Overwhelmed.
Why do people call on the first?
All the homes that went off the market.
Right, there's all these houses, right? But if you're making calls every day, does it matter what day it is? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the 1st or the freaking 19th. It makes no difference. Why does it matter to the people who only call on the 1st? Because they only call on the 1st. What does that do? It saturates the marketplace with people who aren't adding value. So the only way for you to add value is to run every day. Whatever your definition of every day is, you have to set your goals. You have to tell me what you want. I can tell you how to get there, okay? You might only want to work Monday to Friday. Fine. We'll base this on however many days a year that is minus holidays, okay? But guys, look, the thing that doesn't change is this. If you want to make that much money, if you want to make 100 grand, we have to divide that number into how many days you're working. Does that make sense? We have to. You can work 2 days a week. I don't care. Work 2 days a week. Hey, if you can get this number to 20, you only got to prospect 2 hours a week. Right? Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a little bit.
Whatever it is, it's a little bit. The point is you got to get this number down, right? Now, think about it like this. What if, let's just say, what if you become a freaking rock star, okay? And you get to 50. $50 contacts to get one listing sold. 50 contacts gets you $8,100 in the bank. Okay? And you make 10 contacts a day. 5 days a week. That's $8,100 a week, guys. A week. Nobody cares except you. You could make $5 million. And it'd be like taking a freaking Solo cup out of the ocean. No one would even know your name. You're placing your own limitations on yourself based on the conditioning of your life and what you think a lot of money is and what people have told you a lot of money is and what your bills cost and what your car payment is and what the vacation that you want to do is you're putting your own limitations on yourself. This is possible. Okay? 50 contacts to get a $270,000 listing sold, 100% possible. That's $8,000 a week. That's freaking 32 G's a month. Okay, that's like almost 400 G's a year. You're gonna net 300K. You know what netting 300K looks like? What's 300K divided by 12 months? Anybody? 25 G's a month net, guys. What are your bills? $5,000? $10,000? Let's just say they're 5. If your bills are $5,000, now you're saving 20 G's a month. You save 20 G's a month for 10 years, you got $2.5 million in the bank. You got $2.5 million in the bank or properly invested, earning you an average of 3% interest. You got 75 G's a year coming in off interest. Okay? I'm just saying, this is possible, guys. This is possible. Okay? This is the beginning right here. This is just the beginning. This 250 number, this is just for now. This is just today. Okay? It's just today. It's just, and it's theoretical. I don't even know what your numbers are. I'm just giving you the calculation because this is actually a lot more simple than everybody thinks it is. It's not so hard, but you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to memorize your scripts. You have to know what to say. You have to know how to ask questions. You have to know what questions to ask. Okay? You got to know what to say, when to say, how to say. You got to be in the right mindset when you say it. It's not easy. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy. That's why we have a 90% dropout ratio in this business. Okay? And we can see just as a result of the people that are here today, we've got people dropping off and we've only been here 1 week. I'm trying to breathe fire at you guys right now and get you producing. What the hell else do you have to do that's more important than you producing? I'm not saying I'm important. Guys, I'm going to go sell anyways. Okay? I'm going to go sell anyways. I want to help you get to a higher level. Okay? And this is what we're going to be working on every single day. And why are we going to do it why can't we just do 1 meeting a week?
It'll take us
Because
20
it's
years.
going to take us fucking 10 years for you to make $100,000 if we do 1 meeting a week. For Christ's sake. You're going to be gone. You're going to leave the company. You're going to go to some other company so they're going to give you leads. Guess what it costs for a company to give you leads, guys? 75%. You're going to make a referral fee. Here's a buyer lead, 25%. How long is it going to take you making 25%? How many deals do you have to do to make $100,000 at 25%? Well, multiply it times 4. You got to do 80 now. Now you got to do 80 deals to make $100,000. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Just so you know, on Mondays we won't be able to do it because they have the team meeting in here from 9:30 to 10:30. Yeah, on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's in this room, so we won't be able to do it in here.
All right. Well, maybe they can join our meeting.
We'll just have to start at 10:30.
And
Yeah,
No, we go down the hallway.
Or we can go down to the
Or in the
ballroom. I
ballroom.
think Susan probably